Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I thought that we would kick off, wrap up the new year and kick off moving into the new year of 2022 with talking about retirement, investing. I just feel like in an effort to start creating more content about investing, since I feel like I'm well equipped with the knowledge and the skill set, I just feel like now I feel better equipped with the knowledge and the skill set. I feel like in order to kind of like kick everything off the right way, that I should share why we want to invest early and why that's even a goal of ours and how it came about to being a goal of ours. I can just speak for myself, which I will do right now. I will say that I have always had a problem with the 40-hour work week. I know some people thrive while being away from home and at work, and they thrive in their job, and actually that is me. However, I don't feel like my real work is at work. I feel like my real work is at home, meaning all the real goals that I have for my life, to include like exercising and being fit, or being with my future kid around the clock and like being very active in their lives, spending time with my husband, and working on my side hustles, talking to people about money and teaching about money, all of that stuff I feel like really takes place at home. I've always felt like my real work is right here where I'm sitting at home. This is where I flourish the most. Even though I thrive at work, I do good work, I have a strong work ethic, meaning that I don't like to just be slacking, if you will. Even though I show up unapologetically, and I don't know, I just feel like I really get the job done and I have a passion for what I do. I'm actually quite good at it. Even with all of that, I really don't feel any strong urge to be at work. And my issue is that I'm okay with working. I just think 40 hours a week is a bit much, and worse than 40 hours a week is the thought that I could potentially, a lot of people are not retiring until like 70. I remember when I was a little younger, the traditional retirement age kind of situation was like 60. Now it's closer to like 70, and it's just not going to work for me. So now I just know that I have to work harder than maybe I would have 10 years ago. So all of that to say, I'm interested in working. I have no real problem with working. I just feel like what they don't teach, come here, let me tell you what they don't teach. What they don't teach is that retirement isn't actually like an age. There's no magical age. It's rather a number, an amount, a dollar amount. You can retire once you've saved or invested X amount of money. It's not really dependent on any real age. Now, what they do also need to tell you, and what they do tell you, and need to tell you a little bit more so that everybody can understand this and be equipped with this information, because it can drastically change the trajectory of your future if you understand what retirement is, what investing is, all of that. What we need to harp on a little more is the fact that, or here's the thing, there are, like, let's say you're investing in a 401k. Well, there are stipulations to when you can start withdrawing that money. There are stipulations with a Roth IRA, all these investment accounts that exist. A lot of these investment accounts that exist do have stipulations on them, meaning that you can't start withdrawing the money penalty free anyway until a certain age. That age is normally somewhere over 50. So as far as I'm concerned, a little bit past the time in which, the age for which I'm trying to retire. But that is a real thing, and you have to be cognizant of that. But there's 100% ways that you can kind of work around that and be able to save and invest money and set yourself up financially so that you can retire early, start using other funds and withdrawing money from other funds until you do reach those different milestones or ages, if you will. So all of that to say, once I started learning that retirement was really a number and that it was really feasible for me, it really became, so I guess what I'm saying is I've always had a goal of not working until 70, working full-time somewhere until 70, but I never really was educated on retirement investing and all of that until I feel like I started educating myself. So no one actually ever educated me, except for our work with our financial advisor. I will say that he has been helpful, but most of the legwork I've done myself. And so now that I kind of realize what all of that is and what all of that means, I feel like it's kind of like, well, we literally can retire early if we wish to do that. And so now I'm kind of like on fire. about the FIRE movement, so I love that. But I'm kind of on fire about, you know, being very much more meticulous and, you know, strategizing a little more about the plan that I have for my life. Now, what you don't know is that my husband and I, we actually have different goals in life, but we work to achieve the same goal. So as an example, before my husband even escaped the friend zone, we were having conversations because we were going on little dates and stuff before he escaped the friend zone. Before he even escaped it, I would just sit back and listen to like his goals for his life, and then I would share mine, and they weren't exactly the same, but they've always aligned. As an example, my husband wants to be financially secure, meaning he doesn't want to have to worry about bills. He doesn't want to have to worry about money. He doesn't have to want to worry about any of that. Well, we became financially secure technically years ago. Like basically once we got married and we combined our finances, at that point we became far more secure as a unit than we ever were independently. So that's his goal for his life. Now I want to be financially independent, which if you really think of it, is like 10 steps beyond financial security. I do love financial security, but I feel like financial security is more like a in the now type of thing, and I'm thinking about the future. And so for me, to be financially independent means to be able to sustain your lifestyle and getting your needs and your wants met without having to do any work for it. So basically, you become financially independent when the amount that you have invested or saved, or the amount of money that you have in your possession, is enough for you to not actually have to work. That's pretty much what it comes down to. That's like the layman terms. That's like the layman terms. I think that's right. That's like the basic terminology when it comes to being financially independent, and what this FIRE movement is all about, and what this is all about. There are certainly levels to finances, but for me, I want to be so secure that I am actually independent. Again, different goals in mind, but you don't get more financially secure than being able to withdraw $4,000 per month from your joint brokerage account from money that you've saved up years and years and years and years before to pay for your current bills and expenses. It doesn't get any more financially independent. Well, of course you can withdraw $10,000 or $20,000. It doesn't, that kind of depends on what kind of lifestyle you're looking to lead, and also what lifestyle you're currently leading. But for us, we'll be fine withdrawing like $4,000 or $5,000. And we're going to talk about, by the way, I didn't mention it, I'm actually going to share how we got our FI number, our financial independence number, and like how we navigate all of that and how we're going to achieve all of that. I want to start talking about it all, but I have to first break down why I'm even doing this. Like, it doesn't even make sense unless I explain why I'm even doing this. And I just have to say, yes, I did grow up poor, but I still have never been so yes, that's the thing, but it doesn't really play a part in why I would actually want to retire early. I want to retire early so that I can live my best life. I can do what I want. I can be at home. I can take care of my future children, like be overly involved in the lives of my future children. I can try, I'll be able to do whatever I want. And people are always like, not asking me, but just asking people in general, like, what do you plan to do once you retire, especially if you retire early at 30 or 40? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, I can promise you I will not be bored. Like, I can think of, honestly, I'll probably be a foster mom with like 10 kids in my house. Like, I promise you I will not be bored. I will cook, clean, take care of my animals. I'll probably have multiples. Listen, I'm gonna be fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. My husband will certainly be fine. We'll be fine. Like, we will not be bored. So next time you ask somebody that, just think about that. Maybe some people don't actually find a whole lot of value from going to work, and that's fine, because work is just you go there, if you love it and you like it, that's wonderful. Like, that makes it so much easier. That's true. What they tell you, that's true. So it's great if you like it, which I love my job. I'm passionate about the work that I do, rather, I should say. And I love doing that, but I can promise you I would love more being at home with any future kids, being at home with my husband, with my animal, traveling to see my friends, my family members, and traveling the world just to see the world. I will be happier and just as content, not just as content, I'll be bounds and leaps happier with doing that. So you don't have to worry about little old me, little old Mr. Budgets, or anybody else who is pursuing FIRE or financial independence. So yeah, at the core of all of this, I want to be financially free because I want to be financially free and I want to be able to do what I want to do. Now, once you're financially free, you can still work. Like, even when people retire and then they start withdrawing said money from retirement and then they go get another job, a whole full-blown job or a part-time job, or they substitute teach or whatever the case is, certainly I can go back and work and do other things to make money, and certainly I plan to do that. But for the most part, how beautiful would it be if I can withdraw enough to live off, when I say I mean we, if we can withdraw enough to live off of each and every month, and then we can just pop in at a part-time job a couple times per week, and I can volunteer. Like, I can think of so many things that I would love to do. Now, let's talk about how we got here. Chapter 2, let's talk about how we got here. When my husband and I got married, we immediately noticed, after combing through our finances, which was a rigorous task, that we had thousands of dollars basically left over each month that we could start, doing some good stuff with. If we stopped eating out so much and stopped traveling so much and spending our money frivolously, we learned that we could really make some gains. Now, naturally, in an effort to become financially independent, a lot of times it's going to make sense to pay off your debt and not have any debt. You don't have to do this by any means, but it is a part of a lot of people's plans for being financially independent. But sometimes it's not. Meaning, if we had, let's say, a $250 car payment after we've retired, that's not going to be the end of the world. Certainly, I don't really want a car payment because I would like to have that $250 going towards something else, whether it's a bill or a couple bills or some food or, some type of other living expense, if you will, travel, something else rather than debt. But at the end of the day, it would be okay. It's sometimes natural for that to take place, meaning that you don't necessarily have to be completely debt free to be considered financially independent. But for us, a part of our plan was and is being debt-free. Naturally, when you do have debt and you're on a path to financial independence, it might make a lot of sense to go ahead and start paying off your debt. We personally do plan to be debt-free. Once we started paying off our debt and just really seeing how much money we had left over, the discretionary money that we had left over, like I said, we're paying off our debt, but then we started to learn about investing in early retirement and all of that, and that intrigued us, and we learned that we could actually retire in 10 years. And so that's the path that we're currently on. We're actually on a path to potentially retire in 10 years. By potentially, I mean that assuming the rate of return is what we are projecting, which we'll talk about that more in a future video, assuming we don't have any major changes, like being out of work, like a job loss for a year, or being out of work for an extended amount of time. Assuming everything stays relatively the same, we can reach our FI goal or number or amount in about 10 years, which is the plan. Slowly doing this process could, if we eased up a little bit, we could still retire around 50, but we would prefer to retire around 40. So that's our plan. The purpose of this video isn't necessarily to talk a lot about what our actual FI goal amount is, or really numbers, because I want to talk about that in the next video that I do about investing, which I think should be coming out the week after this, I think. But anyway, that's not the plan for this video. The plan was just to kind of talk about retirement, investing, normalizing early retirement, normalizing investing, normalizing learning about investing, teaching yourself about investing. If no one else has taught you about investing, that's the purpose of this video, to kind of open eyes or just share how doors were opened for us. That's the purpose of this video. So just wanted to talk about those things. Again, videos coming soon. I plan to, we don't have to, but we're meeting with our financial advisor in this month, in December, and we're gonna just talk about how 2020 went, which was our first year of getting our feet wet, what our numbers were, what our plans are for 2022, what we might need to finesse and change and modify as we move into 2022 when it comes to our savings rate, our savings plan. Again, we're going to talk about all this stuff that I've learned and all of this information. I got you. So We will be defining different terms and talking about all of that in the upcoming videos. Can't wait to share with you what our plans are for 2022. I guess, yeah, we're meeting with him at the tail end of December, like 2 days before December ends. So I guess that video might come in January perhaps, but stay tuned for that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on your bell notifications if you must, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.